There is this article on Nation Africa that says that Gachagua pleads with Mount Kenya to endorse him as kingpin. It was yesterday. It was no, it was on Saturday. The burial of 5 family members who perished in a car accident. Now I was not there, and I could not find any clip of him speaking, but I can find this article by The Nation, and I believe I have read The Nation for so long. I have every reason to think that whatever they put out there is credible. Well, I don't put my entire trust on them, but I think they do not have any reason to lie. Maybe they could twist some words. But the thing is, Gachagua wants to become the kingpin, or he feels like he is the kingpin. But his kingpinship is under threat because Uhuru seems to still have some hold. And not a small hold, he really has some influence, and he is loved. And you have to love Uhuru. I don't know what would make anyone hate Uhuru. I mean, he's not an angel, but as a person, not Uhuru the politician, Uhuru the person, I think he's just a nice guy. That is my opinion. You can have a different opinion, and it's okay. Now, Uhuru just endorsed Matiang'i as the flag bearer for the Jubilee Party. And Uhuru being from the Central region, his endorsing Matiang'i put some pressure on, or leaves Kindiki, leaves this guy, Gachagua, feeling like, his kingpinship is under threat. Because why wouldn't Uhuru just endorse him as a kingpin and have the people follow him? Personally, even though Gachagua has a massive following in the Central region, I would hate feeling like he the kingpin for the region, because I don't trust Gachagua the slightest bit. Because he's the same guy who came to us in 2022 and sold Ruto. Personally, I did not buy, because I have a brain that works. And I looked at Ruto and whatever he stands for in his history, and I concluded that this is not the person I want leading this country. Because I mean, if you look back at his history, there is nothing, nowhere, where Ruto did anything positive. Nothing, nowhere. Is it a bill he took to parliament that ended up changing this country? No. Is it going to prison fighting for the democracy of this country? No. Is it getting into a ministry and working and it changes everything and he became very successful? No. Actually, if you go back to history, history only has negatives. This guy only destroyed everything he touched. But for some reason, people are told he is the guy. This is the guy. This is the guy. And then he went to churches and cried. And I have an issue with churches. I have an issue, and I'm a pastor. I have an issue with churches. And they told people that, this guy, Amiokoka, he cried in the church. He says, Bwana Sifiwe. Does saying Bwana Sifiwe mean anything? It should, but does it nowadays? It doesn't. And so now this guy called Gachagu, he's the one who sold this guy to Mount Kenyans. And now he claims that Ruto, sijui alimdanganya, sijui he tricked him, sijui he did what, he didn't know. Anybody that had a brain knew that Ruto was bad news. Now, when you're coming back and telling me he lied to you, he tricked you, now you're making me question your brains. Because if you had a brain that works, you would have known. Now, I can only conclude one thing, that you had interest. And you knew what you were going to get after Ruto got to power. Then things did not turn out as you wanted, and then you were thrown out. And now you're coming with this other narrative, and now how Ruto is a bad guy and you are the good guy. Please, you are not. And if you have to plead with people to make you kingpin, it means you do not yet have a hold. Yes, we know that you have a massive following. And it doesn't mean, this doesn't mean that there is nothing I agree with Gachagus about. I agree with him on the one-term thing. And if only the united opposition could come up with a candidate other than Gachagus, then I think we have hopes of at least having numbers that will be a bit of a challenge for Ruto to rig. And about Uhuru endorsing Matiang'i, I don't see why Rigathi feels like it's a threat. After all, see, they are in the same united opposition thing. So Matiang'i comes with his Jubilee. Martha Karua comes with Hanak Kenya. Who is the other guy? Kalonzo comes with ODM Kenya, if that's still the party. And those people, they come together, and then from there they choose who they want to be the flag bearer for the united opposition. I don't think Gachagus fits the bill for being president. And again, I don't want another Kikuyu president. And I am a Kikuyu, so don't say I'm hating on Kikuyu. I don't want to see another Kikuyu president because we have had Kikuyu president and everyone around us hates us. You go somewhere, you're Kikuyu, and people are now starting looking at you suspiciously, like you have had anything to do with these presidents. I have had nothing to do with them. There is nothing I benefited directly from, and I don't want that. Let somebody else lead, as long as it is not Ruto. Personally, if I were asked, it would be Matiang'i. And that is because Gachagus, no. Kalonzo, half no. Why? Because I think Gachagus, Kalonzo, and Ruto are students of the same teacher. That is Moi. So there would not be so much of a difference in their leadership. Kalonzo is a bit calm. Looking at him, he seems a bit calm. And I think, I don't know if he would be as bad as these two. But for Matiang'i, he's never been in politics that much. But he has been a civil servant, he has been a cabinet minister, and he worked like a horse. Some people hated him for his style of working. But I think Kenya needs such a worker, somebody who can push through things, somebody who can fight until things are zimekaa vizuri. And I think Nani can do that, Matiang'i can do that. The other thing about the Mount Kenya region, Mount Kenya region does not see development because of the presidents that have been in power. It sees development because it is a block you cannot ignore. Doesn't matter who comes to power, you will not ignore the Mount Kenya region. And when it comes to development, when it comes to doing things, you will want to go there and do things because you want to win them. So it doesn't matter who is president. I think Mount Kenya will see development. Also, I think Mount Kenya politicians walk on eggshells. They know that if you don't behave next time, you're all out. The same, you cannot say the same for, I think, MPs from other regions. You don't have to do anything, especially if you are from Nyanza or Luo Nyanza. You only had to back Raila Odinga and you knew that your position was secure. So these guys are not in a hurry to do any development. They are not in a hurry to seek development for their people. All they want is to please or to be in the good books of Raila Odinga. Because if Raila Odinga said you are good, then you are good and you are coming back. If he said you're not good, or if you decided you want to go against him, then you can be sure you will lose everything. So I think the development in the Mount Kenya region was not so much about having presidents in power. It's more about the politics of the region. For example, where I come from, I am from the village. I live in a village. It's a village. Our water, I have always known piped water. I have never known living without piped water. And remember, Moi was the president those days when this water was installed. How was it? How did we come to get water? Kibaki organized it. Kibaki knew those international organizations that would support the installation of water and stuff. And he talked to them, he talked to the people, akawaambia wachange pesa, wakachanga pesa. And he went to those organizations with the the pesa we had Jangad, and those organizations came and they wakaweka maji everywhere, Othaya, Mukurweini, the whole of Nyeri. I think other communities would have done the same thing, but maybe those were not priorities. Maybe they prioritized other things, Na vile moja alikuwa anasema, board politics, siasa mbaya, maisha mbaya. If your politics are wrong, then everything else will be wrong.